me clearly. America is not a racist country.
We're not a racist country, Brian. We've never been a racist country.
Here in America, they won't allow your child to get an education because the school administrators are too busy trying to keep him occupied over his hair. Now, hair is going to trial. They're going to trial over hair. This kid needs his education. But because the adults that he encounters on a regular basis are petty, it's going to trial over hair. And it's the adults causing the entire thing. Sometimes the adults don't have better sense than the children. So, a Texas school's punishment of a black student who wears his hair in locks is going to trial. Can you imagine that? Going to trial over a hairstyle. A judge ordered Wednesday that a trial will be held next month to determine whether a black high school student in Texas can continue being punished by his district for refusing to change his hairstyle he and his family say is protected by a new law. And they're talking about the Crown Act. Darrell George, 18, has not been in his regular classroom in Barbers Hills High School. Wow. In Mount Bellevue since August 31st. Instead, he has either been serving in-school suspension or spending time in an off-site disciplinary school. Let me tell you, y'all, when these people get petty, they get really, really disgustingly petty. And they can't understand why many of us want to get away from them. They don't get it. His Houston area school district, Barbers Hills, has said that George's long hair, which he wears neatly tied in twisted locks on top of his head, violates the district dress code that limits hair length for boys. The district has said that other students with locks comply with the length policy. Georgia Jr. said Wednesday that he felt stressed and frustrated over what he sees as unfair punishment, but that he was grateful to soon be getting his day in court. He's getting his day in court in Texas, y'all. In Texas. I'm just saying. I'm glad that we're able to be heard too. I'm glad that things are moving and we're getting through this, George said after the hearing. He and his mother, Deresha George, standing next to him. State District Judge Chap Kane III. They set a trial date of February 22nd, so that's next week, in a lawsuit filed by the school district regarding whether its dress code restrictions limit the length of boys' hair, violates the Crown Act. The new Texas law, which took effect in September, prohibits race-based hair discrimination and bars employers and schools from penalizing people because of hair texture or protective styles, including afros, braids, locks, twists, or bantu knots. Daresha George said she was disappointed the judge did not consider granting a temporary restraining order, which would have halted her son's punishment until next month's trial. So her son, 18, he wants to go back to school and be in his class. And I certainly understand that. He wants his education. And y'all messing with him. Why? She said. In the affidavit filed last week in support of a temporary restraining order, Darrell George said he is being subjected to cruel treatment. I love my hair. It is sacred and it is my strength, George wrote. All I want to do is go to school and be a model student. I am being harassed by school officials and treated like a dog. A spokesperson for the school district did not speak with reporters after hearing and did not immediately reply to an email seeking comment. In a paid ad ran this month in the Houston Chronicle, Barbers Hill Superintendent Greg Poole maintained the district is not violating the Crown Act. In the ad, Poole defended his district policy and wrote the district with a traditional dress code are safer and had higher academic performance, and that being an American requires conformity. Yeah, but it's your conformity that's the problem. So, anyway, we will not lose sight of the main goal, high standards for our students, by bending to political pressure or responding to misinformation media reports. So, y'all created an ad just to go against Darrell George because he sued. Is that the only reason why y'all put those ads out there? That sounds pretty lame. I'm still waiting to find the adults in this whole thing. All right. These entities have lesser goals that ultimately harm kids, Poole wrote. The two Texas lawmakers who wrote the state's vision of the Crown's Act, State Rep Retta Bowers and Reynolds, attended Wednesday's hearing and said the new law does protect Darrell George's hairstyle. And I saw that in another article that I did over the summer about this because Texas, they go back to school in August. And that's when this entire thing started up, shortly after he went to school. And the lawmakers said back then that the Crown Act does protect him. But according to the officials at this school, it doesn't. Remember, they're not even lawmakers. The district is punishing Darrell George for one reason: his choice to wear his hair in a protective style, which harms no one and cause no distraction in the classroom, Bowers said. George's family has filed a formal complaint with the Texas Education Agency and a federal civil rights lawsuit against Governor Greg Abbott and Attorney General Ken Paxton, along with the school district, alleging that they failed to enforce the Crown Act. And they indeed did. She's right about that. The lawsuit is before a federal judge in Galveston, Texas. Barbers Hill's policy on school hair is previously challenged. They said this was challenged before, and I did do a video on this. Back in May of 2020, a federal lawsuit was filed by two other students. And every complaint, y'all, is against a black student. Every single one. The other two students, they were also black back in 2020. Both students withdrew from the high school, but one returned after a federal judge granted a temporary injunction, saying the student showed a substantial likelihood that his rights to be, free and free from racial discrimination would be violated if not allowed to return to campus. The lawsuit remains pending, and that's from 2020. And ladies and gentlemen, the same school officials are involved in those lawsuits as well. Wow. This only makes me disrespect you even more. Y'all gonna have to tell me what you think about this story. I think it's ridiculous for people, and it is always the people that are not the ones that look just like Daryl George. I don't see how you can be from an entirely different race and you always concerning yourself about the hair on a whole different group of people. You got to be petty as hell to do stuff like that. And I don't respect you for that. You don't deserve any respect. So y'all, please tell me what you think about this video. Please leave your comment and subscribe. Don't forget to hit on the notification bell, and I'll see you on the next video. Peace, family.